So here is the question, right? Here's what it all comes down to. We've kind of talked about what the Bears did at secondary. We've kind of talked about where the Bears are going to be going, and what we think they're going to do offensively. When you look at what the Bears did the Bears help Justin in this draft?
I would say yes. Like if I was to give it a grade, I would say C plus, maybe a B. And I did, because it's something that I have to like see on the field when all the parts is like moving together. You know what I'm saying? Like I did. This the thing that kind of shocked me though. When they made the O-line picks, because you know we got the Breeze group chat. Is Muggs out on Bourne for real? Like we like.
For me, this is the thing, right? And this is
I think Bourne is he's really good.
This is why I don't know about really good.
Well, no, not really good. My fault. We not. Yeah.
But here's
up him like he was Trent Williams.
Here's the thing. No, not that bad either. I don't know if it's that bad either. You know what I'm saying? No. Here's the biggest part of it for me. You knew based on what we saw that we were running it out with Tevin Jenkins, Larry Borum, you got Lucas Patrick in there. You've got why can't I think of this mug's name? He's only been our center forever. Good Lord. Why can't I think of who was our center last year? Chat. I am blanking on his name right now, which he was getting run over. So, I mean, it's not great. I'm really blanking. But you've got that depth there that the Bears have initially. Cody Whitehair. Thank you, Baki. You've got Cody Whitehair there. But the problem was, who's behind these guys if they go down? Who's behind these guys? Oh, yeah, we did have Sam Mustipher as well. Yeah, that's true. Who's behind these guys if they struggle? Who's behind these guys? And I feel like that's the part that I'm excited about, right? Like, if you're going into this next season and I have to ask, did the Bears help Justin in his draft? Yes, because you not only had your linemen in place, but now to me, you've got guys that can step up behind them. Maybe they're not starters. Maybe they're just rotation pieces. Maybe they're just guys that move around the line. But we didn't have that last year. We got to a point last year with the offensive line where we were like, who's blocking? We're going to sign, oh, God, who's left? Oh, I got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was a step in the right direction for the Chicago Bears. And then on top of that, I feel like this was Ryan Pace being realistic. Again, two things can be true. I think the pick of Velus Jones was a reach. Not to say that he is a bad player, not to say he's not going to be good in the NFL, but here are the things that are actually true, right? Like, he's going to be 25 right now. By the time his rookie deal is up, he will be 30. I keep saying Pace.
Yeah, that is true.
I keep saying Pace, my bad.
I was gonna say I think the biggest thing about it is Hey, be cool, cause I after the second round, you was ready to keep calling that man Pace the way they wasn't getting a receiver.
Don't worry about me saying Pace, brother.
Hey,
y'all know how it is.
But
listen.
It's kind of crazy, right? Cause you know how like with the Bulls, Mud used to say, "Yo, put Matt Thomas in, put these dudes in," and you realize these are the scrubs of the scrubs.
Yeah.
But then like with this, they and like you said, they kind of got back. We don't know if it's a backup, if they are rotation pieces, but at least, you know what I'm saying? Like, by the time, if they do come in and they contribute, these aren't the scrubs that are scrubs. Like, I can rely on you to give me a breather for a couple of weeks if need be. You know what I'm saying?
No, so, and that's and listen, I don't know if they're that, right? I don't know if they're that. And I will say this, I do, again, Velus Jones might be a nice player, but I do feel like it was a reach at that spot. I feel
Right.
like you could have gotten Velus later in the draft. I feel like you could have moved back a couple of spots and gotten Velus later in the draft, right? I feel like that option was going to be there. But on top of that, I do look at it and say he's a kind of player that fits what Justin Fields will be able to utilize. He's the kind of player that fits what Justin Fields will be able to use as the offense is currently constructed, even if the line is not good. The offensive line at Tennessee, there's a reason you didn't see a lot of those guys coming off the draft board. Right? There's a reason you didn't see a lot of those guys coming off of the draft board. Like, Buddy was basically throwing for his life here. But when Velus Jones got the ball in his hands, he was absolutely able to make magic happen. He was doing this versus top competition. He wasn't doing this at Nowheresville State. He was doing this versus the Alabamas, versus Georgia, versus, you know what I'm saying? And as you watch his tape, you see that when he gets the ball in his hand, he can make magic happen. I get why people are making the Tyreek Hill comparison, but to me, this is different than Tyreek Hill. He's essentially in the body of a running back. When you see him making plays, dog, and I got that tape coming out, that's going to be the video we drop at 5, the Velus Jones breakdown, bro. When you see him making plays, bro, bam, he is throwing human beings. People are trying to tackle him, and he's just like, get off of me, move off of me, stop playing with me, right? And here's the thing. I feel like polls went for, as you saw in the third round, more depth. But on the offensive side, we needed more protection for Justin Fields. We got more protection for Justin Fields. And on top of that, you have the pieces that you already had in the building. And on top of that, you found you a nice, speedy wide receiver that can take the top off depending on what the protection is. But if your protection is weaker, guess what? You've got a guy that, hey, we want to run this screen real quick. We want to run this slant real quick. Now that they've kind of been sucked in and they're standing close to the line, now take the top off. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. A lot of them plays where he was taking the top off were legitimately, hey, look, if the safety's not over top, throw it to him.
Throw it.
If the safety's not over top, throw it to him. Because legitimately, like I was saying in the draft, right, I felt you should have went lineman at that pick. But when I went and watched this tape after, whenever the safety wasn't over the top,
he was gone.
It was just, huh? There was no progression. There was no look. There was no time taken. I feel like that was a pick where, based on what this team currently has, he fits the system. And that's going to be the thing, right? Bears fans got it. Listen, we can hate the pick now and agree that probably there was better value for that pick there. But if Velus Jones is taking the top off and absolutely destroying everybody, we're all going to love it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's a god.
He's a third-round pick. He's a third-round pick. I can't believe we got this value. Now, the age thing is going to be interesting, but even on top of that, right, to me, when you're talking about Velus Jones in that position, which is the big piece where I think most of us look at and say, did the Bears help Justin Fields in that situation? He's a player to me that even if he gets to 29 and we feel good about him, and yes, he's going to be older when his rookie contract is up, that just means if he's really good, he might make less money because of his age at that point. That just means that if he's really good, he might not get the Tyreek Hill contract because of his age at that point. Or,
hey, look, Hall of Fame production.
Hey, look, or he's one of the best receivers on the team, and we have to pay him.
like it's crazy. I mean, like, so all in all, though, what would be the grade for polls?
Yeah, let's